on. You disappeared.
Oh, I know. Hey, everybody, welcome. Maybe the video will be back. I don't know. Welcome to Geek Girl versus Nerd Boy, episode 4.
Really? That's it? Only
I know.
4?
Well, there's probably another episode 4 that we never posted, or that I lost or didn't, but whatever. But that's okay. It's episode 4. It's June 7, 2020, and here we are. Here you are. I'm
Here
Russell
I am.
Felix,
I'm Brianna Hasty.
and
Hi.
and we're back.
Yay!
Hey,
It's
that's
been
me.
a while.
It's been a while, but I'm going to. Brianna's very diligent about the show. On the other hand, I'm like a bad squirrel on meth. I was just like,
I like
something over there. Oh, something over there.
I
So
like how you say diligent, but you really mean passive aggressive. like, hey man, what's up? We gonna do this or what?
yeah, no, it was the threat to take it off of your little bio. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, now I
my
feel
two
bad.
two lines.
I'm making her change her like Twitter bio or something. So no, we're not going to do that. So, but we don't. So what are we talking about?
Well, we the last show we did was Spider-Man. We were excited about the Spider-Man Far From Home. Yes, the conclusion officially of all of those 10 years of Marvel. And we were going to come back and talk about the movie after we had seen it, but then we never did. And now it's been 6 months,
So
a year. I don't know.
I guess. So I guess we can pick up. I mean, I have questions and maybe you don't have answers.
I don't know, because I had myself a little Spider-Man marathon where I watched all of the Spider-Men, like from Raimi, I did Tobey
Wow.
Maguire, I did Andrew Garfield, I did Into the
Wow.
Spider-Verse, anything with Tom Holland. Like I got my notes,
Wow. You know what? Okay,
pages of notes.
let's start with an old person confession. I had zero interest in Into the Spider-Verse. Zero interest. I I don't like people rave about the Batman cartoons. Mark Hamill is the Joker and all this. People like
Yes.
talk. Oh, it's so and I, like donut. I just don't care about Batman cartoons, and I probably should, but I don't. So I watched Into the Spider-Verse. It's really brilliant.
It's an
It's
amazing movie.
it's really brilliant. It's really, really well done. And the last thing I wanted was another origin story. But that's okay because it was a really
Because they
good one.
gave you 7.
Well,
They
there's
gave
that.
you so many origin stories. And
There's
it's
that.
awesome.
It was just really well done. And I was okay. I was shocked. I was wrong. I should have been more excited about it. I should have dived into it and at least saw it and then went, no.
Mhm.
But I'm I'm old. That's my excuse. I'm old.
That's fair. For me, I absolutely love Miles Morales. Ultimate Spider-Man. I'm totally down for it. What is it? The New Avengers? I didn't finish those comics. I think I got to like number 10 or 11. I love how he interacts with Kamala Khan. Like, I'm all for Miles Morales. And when they're like, yeah, we're going to make him the center of it, I was in. Like, I didn't care. I was ready to see him on screen. I love Peter Parker, but there's so many Peter Parkers. there's I mean, there's just a lot. So here's a kid who's brand new. He just has a different way of looking at things, and his origin story with his uncle being the Prowler, like, I just love it. I love his kind of lack of confidence. And in I want to say it's in the first Ultimate Spider-Man, he's he buys the costume like he does in the movie, and he's trying to do his thing and figure out what it means to be Spider-Man. and some guy on the sidewalk yells at him to stop being disrespectful. And it's both amazing and sad because here's this kid who is just trying to do what's right, but you have a literally a New York full of people who's like, suck it, you're being a dick. Back off. This is not your thing. I don't know. He touches me. That's all I can say is he
Yeah.
touches my heart.
I mean, and that is the brilliance, and forgive me for going to a go-to comparison, but that's like the brilliance of Doctor Who, is bringing a new personality in to be the same character, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
but be a totally different character, but the same
Yes.
character. And that's the brilliance of Into the Spider-Verse and Miles Morales. Like, I get it. I get it. I get it. And that character speaks to maybe different people than Peter Parker does. Maybe the same people, maybe both. But I was blown away. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was super well done, and it wasn't another goddamn origin story.
Except that it
Did
was.
I say? Yeah. Except that it
No,
was, but it was cool and it was
but
good.
I
And I'd
get it.
like to see
It's
more.
like, yeah, well, we'll have the second one. I think it's in 21 or in 22. We're getting the second Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh.
So it's out there. My hope in the research that I've been doing, checking in on Spider-Man over the past few days, um, there are two more Tom Holland ones. So he's going to have
There
the
are.
third individual Spider-Man film, and then another one in the MCU. So there's two more out there, and I was thinking about it. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, right? That's what's coming out. So what if one of those multiverses is the animated realm of Miles Morales, and Spider-Man, Peter Parker's Spider-Man, has a good relationship with Doctor Strange in the comics. Like, so if he picks up that mentorship that Tony Stark had, and he goes on this journey and ends up in the animated realm, how badass would that be? I'd be down.
That might be cool. So you know more about it than I do, and this is going to be like me asking a lot of dumb questions, but that's okay
There
because
are no
that's
dumb
why we do
questions,
this. No,
just
there
dumb
are. There are some
answers.
really stupid questions, actually. Like, should I wear a mask? Duh. Yes, you should wear a mask. Okay.
You got me.
We're not, because we're in our houses. Okay. So
That's true.
anyway, so
Four walls all around us.
this is the whole MCU thing. I'm really torn up about it. I mean, I'm still like, you know, a little like, oh, no more Avengers movies, no more Avengers movies, right?
But no, there are. There's going to be, I think there's supposed to be three more Avengers movies, I think.
Who's
So
gonna be
phase
in them?
four, that's the thing. They're going to have brand new Avengers.
Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool. I didn't
Right?
know that. I didn't
Yeah.
see that on the schedule. The last time I looked at that whole MCU master plan thing,
Hmm.
it was the WandaVision thing and a Black Widow movie and another Spider-Man movie that was unnamed, but that was it. Like, so you're just gonna walk away from Avengers.
No, no, it's going to be there, but it's going to be, I don't know which Avengers it's going to be, but that's one of those great things about the Avengers is there's so many
Right.
iterations. It's like the X-Men. What group of X-Men are we going to focus on now?
Sure.
Like, yeah, so that's what they're doing with the Avengers, and I think that's such a big question in Far From Home. People continually asking Spider-Man, like, you're the new Tony Stark, right? You're taking over for Iron Man, right? And he's just a 15-year-old kid, 16-year-old kid who just got out of a war. Okay? He walked away from a war. He lost another father figure. And all he wants to do is go on vacation and kiss a girl on top of the Eiffel Tower. And I don't blame him for it.
I don't, although some parts of that grate on my nerves a little bit. But I get it. I get it. It's context. It's appropriate. And I get it. Like, but I don't know.
Yeah, so I think Phase 4 has one of the Avengers movies. I think. I don't know. I don't have that list in front of me.
Right. That's
But
okay. I
yeah.
don't mean to put you on the spot. So wait, phase four is what time period?
Um, Phase
It's
4 includes the Black Widow movie. It has see if I can pull it up again. It's got the second Doctor Strange. I know that.
okay.
Phase 4 Marvel. Come on, internet.
Well, and while you're looking, I mean, here's the other big, huge elephant in the room, right? How, tell me, tell me, Miss Brianna, you love movies.
I do love
When
movies.
when is the next time you're going to feel comfortable in a movie theater?
I think that they are putting a lot of thought into what it's going to be like to go to the movies again. I know before the shutdown, before lockdown and quarantine, they were selling at half capacity with the idea of a seat in between everybody. And I'm okay with that. Like I can actually I'm more than okay with that because I hate sitting next to people,
Well, I get you
including
there,
family and
right?
friends.
Sure, sure.
Like don't talk to me. I'm trying to enjoy something here. I'm in my zone. Like I don't care about your opinion until the next 2 hours is over. So
Absolutely.
I part of me, I the sooner the better. I want to get back to the movies, but I'm okay holding out.
I, I have no desire to be in a movie theater. Like flying, I love flying. I love traveling. I
Mm.
like going places. I love it. I have no desire to be in a pressurized tin can rebreathing the same air as my fellow passengers for the foreseeable future. And I'm not a germaphobe at all. I'm not, but like, I was to the point where I didn't like flying because every time, you flew, you get that like flying crap, you'd get some kind of weird cold or, like
Mm.
I hate that. So now it's like that times 10. Do I want to sit in a theater for 2 hours? Maybe with a mask, maybe not. Maybe surrounded by plastic, maybe not. I mean, what I want to
Oh,
do is
that'd
do
be
what I
so
used to do.
weird.
I know I want to go to a theater. I want to get the big thing of popcorn and the big soda and sneak in a bunch of candy. And that's what I want. I want that. But I can't have that because that's gone now.
Mm. Yeah, it does. It hurts the heart because there are some things that are just better on the big screen.
Sure.
It it has a different impact. Now, yes, I totally watched Trolls World Tour. I rented it. I'm kind of in the mood to rent it again. Don't you question my Trolls,
I
man.
am totally, totally
Don't.
I'm judging you for Trolls too.
I love Trolls. I love the cartoon show on Netflix. I love it. I'm down. I'm in. They've got me.
Okay. Okay.
But there's things that you do need to see. Action films are different on a big screen than they are on your television. They just are.
Endgame.
Yes.
How many iconic scenes in Endgame are great at home? They're wonderful at home, but in the theater, please.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I agree. All right, so let's see here. Phase 4 is supposed to include the Eternals,
Ugh,
um, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the I know I screwed up his name.
yeah.
Yeah, and then Black Widow, Thor: Love and Thunder. Who is so excited to see Thor: Love and Thunder?
Uh, I know nothing about it.
What? Tessa Thompson. So the last thing I heard, Valkyrie is supposed to end up having a crush on it's Jane, right?
Yeah.
Thor's ex-girlfriend. Yeah,
Yeah.
so Jane will be coming in and she'll be taking over as Thor. And then there is a rumor about I had no idea. Apparently Thor has another long lost sister who might end up being Valkyrie's official queen to her king. Like, what I'm in. I don't care. It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be like
Well,
crazy technicolor psychedelic, and I'm down.
so wait. No Chris Hemsworth
No, Chris Hemsworth will be in it.
will be in it.
Yes.
Okay. But
So just
Natalie Portman is coming back,
mhm.
allegedly. Tessa Thompson, which I love, and I'm totally like anything with her in it, I'm good with. Okay. Yeah, it'll be great. I'm fine with
Yeah.
that. I don't care.
Well, because you also have to think that Thor, the last time we saw him, got on to the ship and flew off with the Guardians of the Galaxy, or as he called them, the
The
Asgardians
as
of the
Guardians of the
Galaxy.
Galaxy, yes.
Like, just on that, man, those two Chris's.
We
Just
know
there.
who's in charge. We know who's in charge. You're in charge. You're the
Yeah. God, that scene's great. All right, so then we have Doctor Strange. Yes, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the new Blade, and it looks like another Captain Marvel.
Why Blade?
Why not Blade?
I I'm not into vampires.
That's fine.
My role on this show is apparently to be the negative curmudgeon, which is really my role on most shows now that I think about it. So, yeah, I just don't care about Blade. I just don't care about Blade. I mean, I guess that's cool and millions of fans, right? Can't be
Yeah.
wrong.
I mean, I think I saw Blade as a kid, but it didn't have that big of an effect on me. Like, maybe it was on the TV while I was walking through the room. I know I tried to watch Blade Trinity because, Ryan Reynolds. But
Ooh.
again,
Oh, just kidding.
you just want me to hit you. That's all. That's your
Yes.
goal right now.
That's it. I'm taunting you. Yes.
Yeah,
I
that's
am
fine.
baiting you. So, and these are all be out well now again. That was before the pandemic.
Yes,
Now
everything's been moved
everything
back.
is moved back at some point, right? Because they're either not in production or they're certainly, if they're done with production and working on it in post, they got no place to show it. And there's been nothing from Marvel about going direct to video.
Yes, they specifically, like Black Widow, they're not releasing because they don't want to lose that money that
Sure.
they would get in theaters, which I understand. But at the same time, I think they would probably make more money. Well, no, because they don't want to release it on Disney Plus. I think if they released it on video on demand and through Amazon, they would be fine. They can still make that money.
Right. And that's the part about the whole MCU thing that really has me kind of torn up, which is like, how much is Disney going to screw this up? And I don't, you know what I mean? Like with Disney Plus and with and Disney's whole, listen, it's brilliant business move. Disney's history of releasing and unreleasing films, of bringing things in print and out of print
Mm-hmm.
is brilliant business. It's horrible for fans. It's
It's
horrible for
rough.
fans. If you're a fan, you want whatever it is you love to be available all the time. You don't want to hear that Dumbo has been out of print for 20 years and you can't get Dumbo because, you know,
Yeah, because it's in the vault.
right, it's in the vault.
Yeah.
And Disney has a schedule. They know that they'll make just as much money releasing it again in 20 years as they will having, you know what I mean? Like they figured it
Mm-hmm.
out. And I hate that about them. I hate that.
The business side of my brain loves it. The
Really?
the fan side of me is like, you assholes. But the business side of my brain is very much like, I respect you. I see what you're doing here.
You're
It's
mistreating
conflicting.
me. I
Yeah.
get, yeah. I'm not saying that they're bad business people. I'm just saying, damn it. I love it. I want it.
Yes, I feel that. But, Disney Plus does allow us to have more access to those things. And one of my favorite things is all of the classic films that I now have access to instead of digging through my huge ass movie collection trying to find which of my storage bin has Third Man on the Mountain or Darby O'Gill and the Little People. I just turn on Disney Plus and I'm like, boom, Sean Connery, done. Yeah.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Yes.
That movie was horrible when it came out in what, like 73? I know. I
You
know.
bastard. You bastard. You take that back.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, I'm
Need a
not
minute?
taking.
I can't look at you right now.
I'm owning it. I'm owning it. I'm just gonna be that. But whatever. That's so Disney Plus and without changing the subject again, I mean, is cool. I just, I looked at it a little bit. I haven't done a free trial or anything yet because I don't know what's on there other than The Mandalorian, which I have not watched and I want to watch.
It's so good.
Is it?
Okay, yes. Just a quick reminder, we're very prone to tangents,
Yeah.
and this is an opinion show with very few facts. All right, disclaimer done out there. Freaking love The Mandalorian. It is so good. I have my pre-ordered pop of Baby Yoda. I got Baby Yoda. Oh, I'm, I love him. I love him so much.
I
The
and
child.
I was just gonna say I'm so sick of Baby Yoda. I
You
just like
can't say that because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
and maybe Baby Yoda does some really amazing shit on the show, and then I'd be like, oh, Baby Yoda, Baby Yoda. But right now, I'm just like I'm way over. It's like just whatever. It's an Ewok without the fur. I don't care. Leave me alone.
You know, I can get it for somebody who hasn't watched the show to very much be like, oh my god, why is this kid everywhere? Nobody gives a shit. Like, you're not Yoda, why should I care? But I do personally feel that if you watched it,
I would feel differently.
yes, he
Okay.
would worm his way into your heart and you'd be like, damn it, Baby Yoda, I will die for you. 'Cause I will die for Baby Yoda. I
Will you?
will.
And you
Okay.
already have your Funko Pop figure ordered?
Yes, pre-ordered. The one with his cup of soup. I'm
You
debating about there's one where he's eating the frog and I'm like, do I really need both of them? The answer is obviously yes, but I think I can wait. Yeah.
I got it.
Anyways, circling
Yeah.
back to Spider-Man here.
Oh, Spider-Man. I remember
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
him, that guy. The notes that I found, Phase 4, they have it down for November 5th, 2021. So, and I know I also read that Falcon and Winter Soldier and WandaVision will both be released on schedule, which I think is at the end of this year. Um, like their release won't affect how they had to push back Black Widow.
So, and those are both theatrical films, right? Not TV
They'll
only.
be TV shows.
They're TV shows like The
Yeah.
Mandalorian.
Yeah.
I'm so conflicted about WandaVision. I just don't even. This is going to be another one where I'm going to express an opinion and you're going to curse me for it. But I love
No,
Vision so much.
I am super excited to see their individual relationship. And I'm interested to see how it fits into the Marvel universe. Like, they're both dead.
Yeah.
We our hearts were torn from our chest. Oh no, I'm sorry. Wanda is not dead.
She
My
came
bad.
back, but
Sorry. Vision's
Vision is
dead.
gone.
Yeah. So they tore our hearts out and they stomped on it and then they kicked some dirt on it and then they just walked away, left us bruised and battered, bleeding. So it's going to be interesting. And another, does the Doctor Strange in the multiverse, does that fit into it? Because we know that it's a time travel show and somehow my heart, I love you, Kat Dennings. I love you so much. Her character of Darcy will be back in WandaVision. So she was in Thor, the first two Thor films.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Darcy will be back. How? How does that work? Where does she fit in?
Why?
Yeah,
I
why?
mean, she's great and that's cool.
I absolutely love her. Like, Darcy was cool. She had absolutely no, she didn't give a shit about what she was doing with Jane Foster. She just needed some credits for college. So it's going to be really exciting to see how her character has developed from someone who's basically just there for college credit to being possibly an integral part of that show.
I
Like, how is she going to affect the MCU? We don't know, and I'm excited to find out.
I I just yeah, I mean both Scarlet Witch and Vision are great. I'm a huge Vision fan. I just like Vision's gone And it's like, now, I don't know. I just can't imagine what they're going to do with it. So good for them. Hey, good luck. I'm sure they've got a great script, or they got something because they announced it, right? They have
Yes.
something plotted out.
I mean,
Um,
I can't wait to see the Scarlet Witch costume. That's more comic book accurate. Like, how the heck does she get into that thing? Where does that come from?
See, I got to tell you, actually, I really much prefer the MCU one than
Yes,
the comic book one's awful. It's
it sure is.
just one of those terrible kind of like just grotesque costumes that,
Yeah,
and she was I liked her back in the old days with the Avengers and all that. And she was cool, but you
yeah,
know,
it's gonna be interesting.
yeah,
That's
I mean,
that's
I
all
think
there
they
is
did
to
great
it.
things with the Visions costume too.
Mm.
Not that it matters. The original comic book one was not that good. No.
Many things from the 60s and 70s not that good. For
Well, I mean,
instance, in my Spider-Man marathon, I did include 2 episodes of Spider-Woman, now available to watch on Disney Plus. You owe me, Disney, for all of this product
yeah,
placement here.
Disney is not a sponsor.
Yeah, it sure
We get
isn't.
nothing from them.
Um, but what I discovered in watching those 2 episodes with my 4-year-old niece, it's insanely sexist and chauvinistic.
Oh, the
Like I
old
had,
show.
yeah, I had never, because it was from '79, I think, late '70s, early '80s, and I could not believe it, and I wanted my 4-year-old niece to turn it off. I'm like, just no, you can't. I don't want you watching this. But then again, at the exact same time as I'm watching it, here's a woman who's clearly badass, and she lets what was his name, Jeff or Jim, think that he's in control and some sort of hero. Like he tells her, "Run, you need to go hide, Jessica. I'll fight this mummy." And then he immediately falls out a window. And it's fucking hilarious. I laughed so hard. Like he fell out a window. And Jessica comes back in as Spider Woman and saves his ass. And then he's like, "Oh my gosh, Jessica, you need to be more like Spider Woman. She's so tough." And all I could think is, in their marriage, he would treat her as, "No, you can't have a job anymore. You need to get your ass in that kitchen and cook me dinner." But then I feel like in the bedroom, he'd totally be down for a dominatrix. Like, that is all I could think the entire time, is he would wanted someone who listens to him, but sexually he would all be about, "Tell me what to do and get out of whip."
Butch in the
It was
street.
very, very confusing and made me angry on many levels. Plus, if her nephew's not gay, then I don't know what's up. Yeah. Little kid named Billy, I think. Yeah. But he's gonna grow up super confused if he keeps Jeff or Jim in his life.
There's that.
Yeah. Okay, anyways. So I watched a
Anyways,
lot of Spider-Man, is what I'm saying here.
yeah, you've really like steeped yourself, but
Yeah.
that's not unusual. That's who you are.
I
And
mean,
if people should follow you on Twitter, you're at what?
at Brianna Hasty. I
Two
keep it
N's.
very simple. Yes, 2 N's. Word Hasty, just the word hasty. Yeah.
Yeah, because Brianna live tweets or semi-live tweets sometimes, but sometimes live tweets movies she's watching, especially marathons and all that. And
Yes.
yeah, the blow by blow is interesting. Every once in a while, I come in there and play the curmudgeon as I always do, and go, "Ah, rah, 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 rah," and then Brianna tells me to shut the fuck up, and I
Mm-hmm.
go away.
It's very similar to this, but just
Yeah, it
with
is
words and terrible
longer.
grammar and misspellings. On my
It's
part.
it's
My part.
easier to ignore.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Okay,
where were we
so
going? Let's see.
I
Did
don't
we
know.
finish Spider-Man?
Did we? I don't
Yeah.
even think we're officially talking about Spider-Man anymore. I think we're just talking about the MCU. But I will say, where is the terrible new name that Sony has come up with. It's horrible. It is
The
absolutely
name?
terrible. Yes, the Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters.
Oh God.
Yeah,
So they
just
do they
no.
still have a piece of X-Men and Spider-Man?
They still have Spider-Man. So we know that. Did you ever see the Venom film? No, no. Okay, I like Venom. It's not some sort of masterpiece. It's not amazing or life changing, but I definitely like that Brock a lot better than the Spider-Man 3 Brock. Because Spider-Man 3, the end,
Oh,
nobody really needs to talk about it.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I honestly, when I saw Into the Spider-Verse in theaters, there weren't that many people. Most of them were parents with kids. And when he does the dance from Spider-Man 3 and he's like, yeah, I even did this. We don't talk about this. I cannot control my laughter. There's no volume control on my laughter. So I'm doubled over laughing and this little boy 2 seats away from me is like, what the hell is up with this woman? Kid, you weren't alive. You don't get it. You weren't there. If you weren't born and seeing this on its premiere night in theaters, you don't understand.
How many times a day do I say that?
If you weren't alive, you don't really understand.
You just don't get it. You don't get me, man. I so yeah, okay, okay.
Where was I? Where did I start off with? I got distracted by the dance. Oh, yes. So they have the Venom film. Morbius got pushed back, but we know from the trailer for Morbius that they have set it up where you can see in the background a sign for Spider-Man is a murderer, which is claiming its presence in the MCU. So they have the goal of eventually fitting Tom Holland's Spider-Man in with this Venom and Morbius.
Is that a good thing?
I don't know. And then there was talk about a Spider-Man Deadpool movie with Ryan Reynolds Deadpool. And again, I just don't know.
I does Deadpool need Spider-Man?
He does not.
And is Ryan Reynolds even signed to do more Deadpools?
That was another thing that he met with MCU, he met with Marvel. Um, and honestly, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've read
Yeah.
one of those articles. It's hard to imagine that R-rated Deadpool fitting into the MCU.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
it doesn't work. But Deadpool standalone with a little bit of, cross pollination or whatever, that's awesome. I mean, I love the Deadpool movies. I think they're a blast.
they sure are.
But I just wonder like if how many more Ryan Reynolds wants to do. You know what I mean?
I
Like
mean,
if he's personally invested.
he spent years trying to get Deadpool made and made the way that honors that character. And he did it. Like, how often do actors and directors and writers and creators get to do that? Like, have a vision and see it completely formed and brought to life in such an amazing way. And he did it. He got to live his dream the way he wanted it done to honor that comic book character. And they talk about using the Doctor Strange film as the perfect way to put in X-Men and the Fantastic Four to introduce them. Like, they weren't part of the war on Thanos because they're from a totally different dimension. So perhaps Deadpool can fit in there. The way he breaks the third wall is a great way to use to explain to people how crazy certain things are.
Sure.
like he does in the Deadpool films, talking about, I don't understand which of the X-Men are you, like, or which actor are you? I'm so confused. I don't know where we are anymore. It's it'll be a challenge, but the way that Marvel handles all the things, like, we just don't see it coming, and then they hand it to us and you're like, "Holy crap, how could we not have figured that out?" Like, they just do it really well.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. It's another Marvel love fest.
When isn't it?
Well, that's true. It's hard to hate them because they do a lot of things well,
That's yeah.
except for Thor: Dark World.
It's like Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire. We
Right.
just don't talk about it.
Love Tobey Maguire. Like the first two movies that he's in, but yeah, Spider-Man 3 is just
It's just
a
we don't
big
talk about it.
steaming, flaming pile of poo.
When I had it playing during my Spider-Man marathon, I was like, this is a really good time to go clean the oven. I just let it play and came back, and I'm like, nope, no, he's still the third movie. All right. Well,
Yeah.
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 Okay. So, I guess this is less about Spider-Man in particular and more about just kind of how it affects the entire MC Sony universe, which is fine. I'm cool with that because one of
Sure.
my huge questions,
Okay.
freaking my mind blew when they brought back J. Jonah Jameson. So excited. It was amazing. And then I'm watching Venom again, and they have the astronaut who's bringing back all of the symbiotes from space. Spacecraft crashes, and Jameson is the name of the astronaut. So are they going to make it? Like, they could easily connect him to being Jameson's son, the way he's supposed to be, and that can fuel a different amount of anger that leads into the third Spider-Man movie, because then they're talking about how Peter Parker's going to need a lawyer, obviously, because he's being
Right.
accused of mass murder and terrorism. So they're talking about bringing Daredevil in as his lawyer. Like, that's being thrown around in the fandom. Rather it's real or not is totally up in the air. Who knows? It's just one of those things people would love to see. But yeah, I think connecting Jameson to Venom is going to be pretty easy because the age of the actors matches.
Hmm. That was Tom Hardy, right?
Yes, Tom Hardy.
Not exactly an actor that is hard. I mean, like the guy's in demand.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not like, and it's like, that's the thing with Ryan Reynolds. Like, does he want to do more? Because it's not a matter that like he needs the money or he needs the exposure, like, hey, you want to do this again? Because, like he doesn't care at this point. I got to think, unless he wants to do it himself.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we know that the second Venom film, There Will Be Carnage, is completed. So that is going to be released in 2021 as well, with Woody Harrelson playing Carnage,
Hmm.
which is exciting in its own because anything with Woody Harrelson, show me
Anything.
anything. It's like, give me Woody Harrelson in a porno. I am in, okay? Like,
Oh,
I will be
no.
there just to see what the story is about. I don't need to see him.
That
I'm
was quite
just
a
kind of
confession.
curious what
Now.
story would be. Hmm?
I said that was quite a confession just now.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I would want to know what thinly veiled porno plot would catch Woody Harrelson's eye.
I got nothing. Anything.
Okay, so there are ways to tie the Sony universe and the MCU universe together. They're already put in place. I remember after Far From Home came out that there was talk of wanting a total of 9 Spider-Man films. 3 where he was in high school, 3 where he was in college, and 3 totally out of school. Which
Okay.
seems like a lot. Like,
I mean, I don't know what Tom Holland's got going on, or if they would cast different actors for each third, right?
yeah, like it's
I mean, I love
I
me some Tom Holland, so I'm, you know, and by the time they got to 9 films, dude would be old enough. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, like his body would be like, I can't do these flips no more. Like,
stunt man.
yeah.
I this
Again,
is
that was just talk. So who knows?
we need like an entertainment attorney that like has seen contracts or something. You know what I mean? Because that's
Hmm.
really like a lot of the questions are just like, and maybe that was because they set up our expectations last time with the roadmap being so well laid out.
Mm.
It didn't ruin any movies, not for me at least.
No.
But the idea that we knew what was coming, and now it's to me, it's all just a blur. It's all just a big, huge question mark. That like, okay,
Yeah.
I like Fantastic Four. Like Sony still, I guess, is forever going to own that and be intent on ruining that franchise.
I mean, I
Oh, don't
don't
defend
hate.
Fantastic Four movies.
No, I don't hate the first Fantastic Four, but that's because I love Jessica Alba and Ian Gifford.
Okay.
It's more about I like these actors and I can recognize that these movies are not great, but I like these actors, so I'm gonna watch them anyway. And I think actually this is something that while I was watching all the Spider-Men, I actually thought quite a bit about. We wouldn't have the superhero movies we have today if it weren't for X-Men and Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four from the late 90s, early 2000s. Like
But
those
thank God.
movies,
No, I was going to say thank God they've evolved. But
yeah,
yes,
like we wouldn't have the way that they are able. X-Men really worked on showing all these different characters' plot lines and showing that people go to the theater for a team of heroes, not just one individual like Batman or Superman. Like audiences will support teams. The CGI from the Spider-Man films, those fight scenes, they gave us a lot that the CGI teams and the tech teams have come like it's just come a long way for the MCU and the superhero movie films we have now. And then Fantastic Four, I think that they kind of show that audiences will support outlandish, crazy storylines that don't really make a lot of sense. But we'll go anyway. And that is exactly what Far From Home plays with. That is
sure.
what Jake Gyllenhaal's Mysterio straight up says. This is insane, but apparently the world will believe anything now.
I mean, that line is like the total Deadpool looking into the camera and going, "Can you believe this shit?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that's exactly what that is. And
yes.
yeah, I can because I love those characters and I love the stories and I'm willing to just ignore it for those, admittedly. Whereas with lots of other things, one little thing and I'm done. I'm over it.
It's
I'm
just
like,
out.
okay, I'm gonna go eat popcorn somewhere. I'm over this. And that I mean, and the tragedy for me with Fantastic Four is one of the best villains ever, 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 ever never is going to get to see the light of day because we can't make a Fantastic Four movie. Like, where's Doctor Doom?
Yeah. And well, there's another thing. Spider-Man was part of Fantastic Four for a while. He has a friendship he's frenemies with Johnny. So there's another way to
Isn't
pull in
everyone?
right? You can't love and not hate Johnny. It just it's right there. We all love and hate him.
Yeah.
Um yeah, it's just another way that they can fit in the Fantastic Four. They can pull there's so many options, and that's another thing that goes to Stanley and Jack Kirby, and oh my god, the other guy's name is totally evading me right now. But they've created such a masterful, amazing universe, and all of the people who went into writing and creating these characters in the comics made it so believable that it translates really well on screen into ways that we'll just be like, all right, cool. If you say so, guys.
I have like the most controversial comic book opinion ever. Should I in the last 15 minutes should I express this, or should we save this for another show where people can like send me hate mail, cuz I will get hate mail from this, volumes and volumes of hate mail.
I want to hear it. I need to know what it is.
Okay. So, I follow two accounts related to this person on Twitter. I love this person's art. I also, having spent some time in my life training myself as an artist and in art history, can look at this person's artwork and go, he was awful. And I'm talking about Jack Kirby. I love Jack Kirby's art. The psychedelic stuff that Jack Kirby did was groundbreaking and incredible and amazing. And like, you look at those Doctor Strange comics, and like nobody could have done that as well. And the brilliance of the movie is they brought a lot of that totally psycho, and by that I mean psychedelic and just totally psychotic
Yes. Yeah.
artwork, and that those graphics to that. And that's cool because Doctor Strange is a kind of a dumb character in some ways. Ooh, that might get some email. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You have fun
anyway,
with people's reactions to
I
this.
love Jack Kirby and I hate Jack Kirby. Every Jack Kirby character looks the same. Every Jack Kirby character looks like a man. It just like Jack Kirby had one style and he stuck to that. And he was a brilliant, gifted artist. But damn, there are some people that came in after him that really cleaned up the characters. They weren't except where they copied a lot of his backgrounds and scenes and kind of the layout of stuff, the composition. Um, they they were building on his brilliance, but oh man, I like Susan Storm. Oh, the square head and the hair and that's why like the Eternals. I totally don't get I don't care about the Eternals at all. I never got that.
I really don't know anything about them. I never bothered to watch the failed TV show. Um, I only saw Medusa in a couple of the Miss Marvel comics. She's in a couple at the beginning with Kamala Khan. That's as much as I know about them.
Yeah. So anyway, we were back to Fantastic Four and I don't know,
Yeah.
Jack Kirby. But I mean, again, I love his work and it some of it's just really horrible. So go ahead and hate me if you want. But where was I going with that now? Oh no. Oh no.
I think you were just expressing an opinion.
Was I? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the Fantastic Four. I just like it seems like such an amazing like it could be a really wacky, crazy franchise. And it's just like, where are the movies? Where's the people? There are creative people that could do it. You look at Thor Ragnarok and how that rehabilitated
it gave Thor a whole new life. After
absolutely,
Dark World, it completely re-energized Thor.
absolutely. That's the kind of treatment that the Fantastic Four need. You need like the Doctor Strange thing. You need the craziness, just the psychoness of that artwork brought into film and brought into acting, and nobody sees that challenge yet.
I think Marvel does a pretty damn good job of finding the right directors and the right writers that match the individual characters.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Like
casting in general.
yeah, they do an amazing job of looking at who do we need to make these characters real, to flesh them out in a way that our audiences understand and like. So I hope they can do it, is all I'm saying. And I also hope that they don't fall into generic casting.
Right, which is, and not that you have to cast. I mean, well, and Marvel proved that, right? You don't have to cast big actors.
No,
You don't have
you
to
don't.
cast stars. It's not a matter of that. Ryan Reynolds is great, but that's not why Deadpool works.
Yeah. It's I think they can do it.
Yeah, I mean, who was Chris Evans before?
He was a very generic blonde hot guy. I mean, for instance, I also did a Captain America marathon a couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
and there is a film that I was a kid when it came out. I was preteen, teenager, The
Oh,
Perfect
okay.
Score. Um, and I was like, hey, look, this guy's cute. He wasn't fantastic. The movie has both him and Scarlett Johansson in it. It's a theft film about some kids desperate to pass the SATs, so they steal the answer to the SATs, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's so stupid. Nobody can really believe it. But that was pretty much, he had that. He had Fantastic Four,
Yeah. Mm.
which yeah, and when you stop and think about his Johnny versus who Captain America is, like those are two totally separate actors, and I love it.
Yeah, I mean, he was great in Captain America, and they did a good job of evolving him as a character.
Yes.
You
Uh,
know, um, and that's the hard part, right? How does your character grow yet still say the same, still retain the values and whatnot that character's supposed to have, but yet they're supposed to change. Ah.
yeah, and I'm gonna circle back to Spider-Man.
Okay.
Here is something that they are doing really well with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. They toss him in Civil War, comes out of nowhere. Here's this fresh-faced, happy kid, just sort of excited to be there. I mean, Tony Stark literally showed up, put him on a plane, and said, "Come help me." And then he comes back to New York in Homecoming, and he is excited to get out there in the world. He doesn't need school anymore. He's an Avenger. Like, yeah. Only then he actually has to fight the Vulture. Okay, well, I get it. I have to mature a little bit. I have to grow up some. Then he gets thrown into space, and he literally gets snapped out of existence,
Right.
comes back, and lands in the middle of a galactic war. No, I'm being serious
I
here.
know. No, I know you are.
Like, Homecoming, he accidentally sets off the instant kill, and he's terrified of it. But then you get to Endgame, and he does not hesitate at all to activate the instant kill because he has to.
Right.
Like, he is realizing that he's a kid and he can't fight more than one or two people at a time. These are actual aliens that are 3 times bigger than him.
Right.
So he's learning a lot, which actually leads to a scene I really like in that final battle in Endgame when he's handing off the glove to Captain Marvel, and he's like, "How are you going to get through this?" He's not asking her because she's a woman and he doesn't know anything about her. He's
Exactly.
literally like, "This is a fucking army. How are you
Yeah.
going to do this?"
I just got my ass handed to me. Okay.
Yeah. So when you get out of Endgame, he's lost Tony. He just went through a war as a 15, 16-year-old. And I don't think anybody can blame him or does blame him for just wanting to go on vacation.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, he's
then,
still basically who he is, right?
and I think that's such a great part of the Tom Holland Spider-Man is that as he's going on this journey and actually growing up and realizing he's made a commitment to being a hero. Like it is a commitment. And just like any kid who's trying to figure out like their first job and what it means to be an adult and those responsibilities that come with it, it's harder than he expected, and he kind of wants to just crawl under the covers again, which who can blame him? But here he is having to fight the elementals in a foreign country, being yelled at by the most dangerous man in the world to get his ass in gear. Like, you have a responsibility, and he has to figure out that balance. So I think by the end of Far From Home, he's starting to get what it means to have that, let's say, work-life balance that we all struggle for on a daily basis. And then once he kind of gets his footing, he's figured out, I just fucked up. I handed a terrorist a very dangerous toy, like very dangerous pair of sunglasses. He's there's more to being a hero than just the fame and glory and looking cool, jumping around in his underoos. So when that rug gets pulling out from under him, and now he's gonna have to answer to the world thinking that he's a murderer. Like, what's that next step of growth? How are they gonna write that? What are we gonna see? And those are things that we didn't get with the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield, no.
So after that very long, I think I said what I meant to say. Maybe it made sense. Maybe it
No,
didn't.
it was good. It was good. No. I think you were right on the mark. And I think we've just about hit the end for this episode. So that's a good time to kind of wrap it up and sum it up. I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about DC because there's so much more content in Marvel, and there's so much more going on that it's easy to kind of forget. Like, is DC releasing any movies? Do we know? Have they announced anything?
Yes. Wait. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
No, I can't remember now.
Well,
There
maybe
was
that's for the next
something.
episode. We'll have to see, because I think Henry Cavill's out, right?
Is there going to be another Birds of Prey? Which, by the way, I will talk for hours about how much I love Birds of
Do
Prey.
I need to watch that?
Oh my god, yes. Let me
Really? Because
just say,
I hate Harley Quinn.
oh, well, F
I
you,
just
man.
That's the weirdest character. It's like the profusion of Joker movies, and again, let me be the lightning rod for all the empire. Like, I don't need any more Joker movies ever, ever.
Why did we have to watch Bruce Wayne's parents die in a movie about the Joker?
I just Why do we have to watch I get that, like, yeah, it's overdone. It's badly done. And I did, like, even this last one. My wife liked it. I didn't.
Which one, Joker?
Yeah. It was just, oh wow, an angry white guy that's treated badly is gonna turn into a psycho killer. Yeah, that doesn't happen
there's
every fucking day.
there's a lot there. Um,
Yeah, that's a whole other.
maybe, yeah, that's a whole thing in and of itself that we can talk about the justice system and mental health issues, the like you said, woe is me, poor white man. Like there's a lot there.
If the Joker was a different character, I might be more sympathetic. But instead, I just really want to lock him up and put him away and never see him again. And I get it. That doesn't mean I'm not, like, I didn't get it. And I thought there were some things in Joker, the interplay with the girlfriend,
Hmm.
that wasn't really interplay, and like, some of those fantasy sequences are brilliantly done, really well done. But I just, God, no. I mean, I just don't have time for it. I don't know why.
Well,
In general,
some
I'm not a villain guy though. Like I don't want a Galactus movie or a Doctor Doom movie or a Thanos movie. I don't I want I like happy endings. I like heroes. I like that that's me. And
yeah,
I'm not everybody. I get that.
I
Nor
mean
should
that's
I
fair.
be. Yeah.
See, I would say absolutely watch Birds of Prey. If not because you're interested, then maybe just for a open discussion.
I will do that.
I loved it. Maybe it's
Okay.
because I'm a woman. Maybe because there is a egg breakfast sandwich scene that literally speaks to my heart because it is my hangover food, and also my, you know what? Today's gonna be a good day. I'm gonna go treat myself to my favorite sandwich. And that is in there. Like the movie, the opening sequence is great.
Okay.
There's a beautiful opening sequence, but when they get to the egg sandwich, I was in. I'm like, I
Okay.
don't care if the rest of this movie is crap. There is an egg sandwich, and I am down.
Sorry.
No worries.
Okay. So
So
let's say that
yes,
this
no,
is the
maybe.
end.
Yep,
Uh we'll be back soon,
maybe theoretically.
theoretically.
Who
Okay,
knows? Yeah.
there will not be the delay between episode 4 and 5 that there was between 3 and 4. How's
Yeah.
that? That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds
There we go.
good.
The next episode will be out much less than a year. It might be out in 2 days. You
Who
know, this
knows?
whole pandemic thing's got us given us time. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
So much time. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.